Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? It's Likey here to cast the rest of the series, whether that's one game or two, we'll find out. But we are here now with the draft for game two. All the champs from previous game have been disabled. Those being Gwen, Diana, Yasuo, Ezreal, Rakan, and then Shen, Lilia, Lux, Jinx, and Lulu. No ban for no ban for the Cat Cowboys first ban. We're gonna see if well, I don't know why they didn't ban anybody. Is that BM? There's a Cassante ban from the Doctors against Lin, followed by an Anivia ban. Cat Cowboys lose ban due to reschedule. I see. That makes a lot of sense. Wait, but I thought it was free. I thought it was free reschedules because of Easter. That's what I was told. I guess not. But nonetheless, Cyber ban followed by a Oriana and Vi ban against Cat Cowboys. Varus first picked by Cat Cowboys is a really good champ for Steal Myself. Cartel, he's very good on this champ. Very strong ADC right now. Can fit into a lot of different comps because you can play him in so many different ways. The Doctor's going to be picking up Jace for game two. Interesting pick. They're going to have to draft around this pick. This is a very pick slash poke based champ so far, and I wonder if they're going to keep the draft looking that way. Whereas right now the Cat Cowboys can kind of opt into whatever playstyle they want still, because Vars can go on hit lethality or even AP depending on the matchup. But with a Jace, they're kind of locked into poke slash pick, so I'm interested to see Lee Sin. That's even more early game skirmishing alongside just trying to get one person dead at the start of a fight with the Lee Sin insect possibility. What are you guys snacking on tonight? Personally, I got some pizza. Ready to watch this game? Cat Cowboys Victor. If you don't know, IBIS's Discord profile is a picture of his real life face plastered onto the Victor profile picture. So he loves this champ. They should have banned it. He's really good on it. Works very well front to back, but also can be a very good burst mage. Poppy, also very front to back / pick. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bars goes on hit this game and they just kind of play front to back, kind of death ball-y. Feels so weird just talking to myself. There's no one there's no one here to cast with me. It's fine though. The Doctor's gonna pick up Braum. This is a strong pick, definitely. Good at skirmishing. His level 1 is very strong with his passive. Definitely very front to back focused. Not super pick poke, but does work well with Jason Lee Sin. If Poppy ends up going support, is a very good answer into that engage. Very good counter engage. Because anyone who goes in, he can just proc his auto on, or his passive on, and they will be stunned soon after. In the next phase of bans, we see Ambessa targeted towards Linian yet again. Cassante and Ambessa, his 2 most played champs, I believe. So trying to take him off of those strong champs. Cat Cowboys going to ban the Malphite. Which, I mean, they haven't drafted a ton of 80 so far, so I guess it just might be a champ someone on the Doctor's play. But definitely an interesting pick, or interesting ban here. Doctor's final ban will be Vayne. See myself does play this a little bit. Saw him play it last night, but I mean, isn't a super popular champ in the meta, so I'm curious what they... Wait, they already have a Varus. I guess they have played Varus top recently, so the Cowboys have. So I guess I'm a little curious about this Vayne ban. It doesn't super make sense to me. But then the Cat Cowboys are going to also ban the Ornn, trying to get those weak side top laners out of the draft. Doctor is going to be drafting Lucian. Strong picking with Braum can get his passive stacked and stunned really quickly with that Lucian passive proc with the double auto. And I'm curious where the Cat Cowboys are going to be. This Poppy flex pick can be played jungle, top, and support, so they really have a lot of flexibility here. Curious what they're going to be picking and where they're going to be placing that Poppy, because they have a lot of options here still. Renata picked, which means that Poppy will be going either top or jungle, with Renata Varus being the lane. And Renata, strong pick into Braum because Braum wants engagers, and Renata is an anti-engage enchanter who also just procs a lot of damage with her passive. So I think a really good move by the Cat Cowboys here, drafting Renata into the Braum Lucian. Now that is followed by the Jax. And personally, I'm going to say I think the Jax is probably going jungle. Just because I know he's played that, but I mean, they can also be played top. The Poppy and Jax can kind of both be played top or jungle. So I'm curious where they're going to be putting that in the final draft. And then Volibear probably going... Oh, and they're going to end up with the Pantheon top pick for the Doctors here. Now, looking at these drafts, I want to try to not be biased towards my own team, the Cat Cowboys, but just looking at these champs and the ease of play, I think Farce is super strong. Lucian is hard to get strong. Pantheon, if he doesn't get a lead, kind of just falls behind. Same with Jace. Lee Sin, too, if he falls behind, is just kind of becomes a kickbot super quickly. So curious how the Doctors are going to be able to play this out. It seems like someone on the Doctors client exploded. So they're trying to figure that out right now. That being said, as I am looking at the lobby, the Jace going mid for the player whose name is Jace Talus. That's his in-game name. That's his one trick. Um, but he's the gold player against Diamond IBIS. Uh, IBIS has a lot of time on Victor as well, so really expecting mid lane to go towards IBIS. Um, like I said, top lane and jungle, I don't know which champ is going where quite yet. Can't really talk about that matchup, but I know Varus Renata is going to be really strong, I think, into the Braum Lucian, especially if Renata can cancel a Braum or Lucian dash with her Q, her shielding and extra damage she provides, as well as the W, which allows you to die and then have a few extra seconds of fighting to possibly turn a fight around. So definitely, I would say the ease of gameplay falls towards the Cowboys. The Doctors definitely have a harder game to play, but lots of and no magic damage. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, there's no magic damage on the Doctor's draft, which means Cowboys can just build armor and be invincible. So I think this game is going to be really hard for the Doctors to pull a win out. That being said, while they look to fix this problem, and as we head into the game, I'm gonna set us towards a quick little break, and I'll be right back when the game does begin. All right. Game hasn't quite started yet, but I am going to be back just with the in-game draft, so we can just kind of talk about it a little bit more. And I actually will put a prediction into the chat for who wins games. Game number 2 will be the Cowboys or the Doctors. Again, looking at the draft, Cowboys with a Varus, a Victor, a Poppy, Renata, and a Jax, with the Doctors locking Jace, Lee Sin, Braum, Lucian, and Pantheon. As I was talking about earlier, the Doctors did draft pretty much a full AD comp, so if the Cowboys begin to stack armor, it will be very hard for the Doctors to start winning fights at all. The only source of magic damage is actually just Braum's passive / abilities. I don't think any of Lucian's W. Um, so it's gonna be if the Cowboys are able to start stacking armor in the mid game, even early, I think it'll be very hard for the Doctors to pull this game out. As well as I think the ease of play falls to the Cowboys as well. Just looking at the draft and how the characters interact with the other characters on the map. I'm gonna mute. Let this draft kind of play out. You can look at it a little bit more before you want to predict with your channel points. But that being said, as soon as the in-game draft is done, I will head back to intermission and I'll come back once the game has begun. All right. What is up, everybody? We are here in game 2 of the matchup of the Cowboys versus the Doctors. I don't have anyone to count in, so we're just going to get right into it. Both teams pinging to kind of look to fight over this bush, although looks like, will they get spotted? I think IBIS does spot them here.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And nothing else is going to happen. Either does use his ward to defend the Raptor camp. And Poppy is able to get a ward on the enemy red buff. This is huge for getting information on where Chessmaster Tim will be starting.
Minions have spawned.
Some pinging by the Cowboys bot lane to invade this Tri-Brush. And Lydian getting a good trade into Bad Axes here. Dodges the Q. Baxes does get the PTA prop cover and is going to be forced to back. This is going to be really bad for him. Or he's going to cancel the base for him. IBIS getting a good trade in. Lots of early game fighting here by both teams. Cowboys able to kill that ward, and they do have to push slightly, and I think they will probably hit level 2 here first. Just looking at positioning. So the Doctors do need to kind of back off here to risk not dying. IBIS getting a huge trade in onto Jace Talus. Jace Talus being already at this point in the game. IBIS dominating the laning phase so far. And Poppy might be looking to dive him here in the mid lane. And does get the first blood. And burns the flash as well. Jace Talus no flash. Chessmaster coming for the bot lane. See myself forced to flash. Lots of flashes going down. Chessmaster Tim flash as well. Either doesn't have his W leveled yet, I don't think. So not able to get the W passive proc, and he's also going to die. Unfortunate turn of events for the Cowboys in the bot. If either had the Renata W leveled, that could have turned in a completely different direction. I'm taking a bad trade, but now Bad Axe is no ignite, and Nate Babe is here to dive and kill him himself as well. He's going to die tower, but I think it's going to be, yes, just an execute for him. I'm going to take a plate in the top lane. There's a Lee Sin there, but I don't... He might be able to get the back stopped up here. Lynn does get out just in time. Poppy already 2 kills in this game. A huge advantage for the Cowboys. 2 kills also for the Doctors. But... Okay. Oh. So sad. Rami able to block enough damage that Trolmir lives with a sliver of health. see myself with 2 deaths already at this point in the game, and the first feat of warfare claimed by the doctors. Ooh, IBIS does lose a cannon. Can I get any -1s in chat? IBIS, however, is already up about 10 CS, almost 2 waves of CS here. And I can only imagine this CS lead growing. Chessmaster Tim is on the dragon, but Cowboys might be able to spot him out here. No, they're not. They're not going to check the dragon. Or maybe... Oh, they're just unaware of the dragon being taken right in front of their face. They might have been able to stop if they just the two went early before the bot lane and the doctors were able to get back. But IBIS using ult on Jace Talus. Not going to get the kill, but Poppy here to collect the kill yet again. 3 kills on the Poppy. There's a Lee Sin here. May be able to do so much damage alongside with IBIS. Chessmaster Tim using his flash. Poppy able to get the stun off and get a second or a 4th kill for herself. Poppy going to be so strong in this early game. Going to get that first item completion so early. Assuming it's going to be a Sundered Sky just for the extra healing and bruisier stats in this point in the game. 6 minutes. J-Style is going to go on to IBIS. IBIS is going to flash. Dodges the Q. And able to back safely. A lot of posturing here by them. Oh, sorry about that for the stream, guys. We're just posturing. Lee Sin on the grubs has been first and has had a lot of prio on these objectives so far. Did get the first dragon uncontested and now is slaying the first set of void grubs uncontested. Which, despite the jungle lead right now for Naped is a good silver lining for the side of the doctors. Because one more objective, and that means they get the upgraded boots because they did get the first thing of warfare from the 3 kills, and then if they get one more objective, that's 3 objectives. Linny in the top lane, getting a solo kill onto Bad Axes. Bad Axes is forced to use his Ignite and still comes out dying with no kill for himself. We'll see. Still myself able to get a tiny proc of... Oh, they're getting on to Chessmaster Tim here. IBIS using ult here, not able to find a kill though. Stealing the blue buff away. They're going to use Poppy ult. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get a kill here though. Feel myself still level 5, not quite level 6 to use his ult. I've been taking a big chunk from Jace Talus here, who has tier now, so his mana problems will be less severe. But the Cowboys getting a push in here, looking for a dive onto the doctors with the ult from... Okay, there's 1 kill going to either. The Renata ult. So I was thinking up. Now the stun onto him, and Naped getting the kill yet again. Unfortunately, did not go to steal myself, but Naped now with 5 kills. This Poppy's going to be very hard to deal with when she comes back to base with a full item and a half at this point, assuming she does this full clear here. Lee Sin just taking her top side, not looking for a gank top, which she probably could at this point, but just going to be farming here. Not a ton of angles for Lee Sin to be fighting at this point in time. Looks like Lee Sin is spotted by IBIS. Lin going for a little trade on the Bad Axes. Comes out a little worse for wear. You know, Poppy is backing, and I'm expecting her to come back with the first full item of the game. Yep, there's a Sundered Sky, as well as the Longsword, or going with the Ruby Crystal instead. When going for another fight up top here, probably gets a solo kill if a W comes up. Yep, and flashes and is able to, with the extra resist from the Jax ult, be tankier and survive that tower shot. With the Renata in the top lane, I imagine the Cat Cowboys are going to be posturing for Grubby's fight, but Braum is here in mid lane along with the Poppy. Looks like we have a little 2-for-2 fight here. Poppy able to get an ult here as well. A flash into the... IBIS does get the kill. Ooh, and Chessmaster Tim up here in the top, winning a 1v2. Will go for... Not able to get the second kill, but Poppy is running here and might be able to get a kill, another kill for herself onto this Lee Sin. Poppy uses the W, hits the E, Q, another kill for Poppy. Lots of fighting. Linian does go down in the top lane to the Lee Sin in the 1v2, unfortunately. But Poppy here on the Grubbies, able to prevent the Doctors from getting another feat of war, which would either overstaying way too long here for no reason and does end up giving a kill to Bad Axis. And Poppy is able to take at least one of these grubs, so Doctors will not be able to claim the feat of objective feat from the grubs, but they are heading towards the dragon, and this dragon does look a little uncontested, so they will be claiming the second feat from the dragon here, I believe, unless Cat Cowboys make a move to steal it, but I don't see that happening, so it will be upgraded boots going to the side of the Doctors. So we're going to have an Ocean Dragon map here this game. IBIS with the Ludens completed now as well, so he does a lot of damage. Jace Talus looking really, really weak here, and either stuns the Lee Sin. Looking for a fight here. IBIS forced to flash. IBIS taking a lot of damage. Linian also taking a lot of damage. Poked out of lane here. A lot of just trading back and forth fights, kills, CS over. The Cat Cowboys are up just over 4,000 gold due to kills and CS leads. Despite some objective trading, there is a CS lead in every single role except for support, as well as a 5-kill lead, most of that being on the Poppy. If you want to look at the gold, Poppy is up 1.5k, Jax is up 7k, the Victor is up 1.5. Varus is up about 7. So huge gold leads, CS leads. Winning, going for another trade onto Bad Axis. I mean, looking for a fight here. Semi-famous using the Renata ult. And lots of ults burned, but nothing. Oh, Chessmaster Tim is here on either. Does get the kick. IBIS is here. Either taking damage, uses the heal, doesn't have his W anymore. Jace House does get the kill, but is going to go down himself to Nate Babe on the Poppy. I'm gonna have a lot of prio here to just hit this tower, but a lot of pings towards the Braum here. I wonder if they're gonna look to fight or if IBIS is just gonna look to take this tower. Oh, the back does get stopped. Nate not able to get the stun, but does get a little bit of damage onto Semi-Famous on the Braum here. IBIS does take first tower here. Unfortunately, feats are no longer available for the Cat Cowboys, but first tower, especially the mid-tower first tower, is very good for opening up this map for the Cat Cowboys. They'll have a lot more space to move and roam. Looks like the Lee Sin is invading the Poppy's red side jungle and either ping towards Varus, heading back towards the bot lane. Does get the stun under the tower. Does look like there's a little bit of miscommunication. Lin does back off, uses the ult. Yeah, just a little bit of miscommunication there between the jungler and top lane of Cat Cowboys. A little hard to communicate there when Cat Cowboys jungler top laner does not have a microphone. But he is able to get the kill and gets a trade because of the ignite. Stops the back. The Braum in the top side looking here. He's gonna try and... Can they protect this control ward? They are, because the Lee Sin here in the back. Varus uses the ult. Renata here. Renata does not quite have ult yet. Varus uses his ult. And a huge TP by IBIS, followed by the jungler of the Cat Cowboys here. Renata is going to go down, but 2 kills onto the Varus right here. And the fight is still continuing. We do have a movement speed advantage for Napeape here. That's going to be another kill onto the jungler. It's going to be a 3-for-1 trade in the mid lane over a control ward. Why are we fighting? Because we feel like it, I guess. Which we love to see. Mr. LS would be complaining that they're fighting over Jack Squat. But, you know, we love to see some action here in the BTL. IBIS by himself on another tower. Going to get some more tower gold for himself. Gold lead has risen to almost just over 6k now with that tower taken for the Cat Cowboys. 40 CS lead in the mid lane, 30 CS in the 80 carry. Pretty even in jungle top, and then support CS doesn't really matter. IBIS does get the Q land on him from the Lee Sin. Does get a stun onto Braum, but probably going to get out of here just fine. Does get a lot of damage out. Renata ult does proc. Braum passive on Lucian gets him the stun. He can't dash out. Poppy's here. Flashed by the Braum. Poppy's going in. Renata Q does get Jace Talus here. He's going to die to IBIS. IBIS going to take this blue buff from the advantage earlier. And that's a 2-for-0 for the side of the Cat Cowboys. Really good fight for them, and now I think that's a free dragon. That is only the first dragon on the side of the Cat Cowboys, so if we're going to wait for a soul, it's going to be a long time for a soul for Cat Cowboys, but with the way this game is kind of pulling out right now, it's almost an 8k gold lead. No, it is an 8k gold lead. Cat Cowboys are going to slowly but surely just overwhelm this map and probably win before they take this soul, I will say. Throwing is always a possibility, but they are going to take the Rift Herald now, uncontested. Some more gold for the team. This game is getting harder and harder for the Dodgers to pull ahead and win. I won't count them out quite yet, though. Although, maybe I should. They don't have a lot of good scalers on their team. Lee Sin doesn't scale. Pantheon doesn't really scale. Lucian doesn't really scale. Without an enchanter, really. I don't want to say the game is over, but the game might be over. Jax jumping onto Lucian is just going to kill him. Victor fighting with the Pantheon is going to... There's a trade for flashes here. IBIS... Holy, the shield from the Q saving his life. And then the Luden's auto does end up killing the Pantheon. Crazy kill there. Pantheon should have gotten that kill, but IBIS is too good. What can I say? That guy's the GOAT. Holy, 2 double flowers here for either to collect. Two items completed for the Poppy at this point. Everyone on the side of the Doctors only has 1 item. IBIS does collect a second item as well with the Shadow Flame complete. Either does miss the Q onto Jace Talus, does hit the ult to get him to start autoing the minion, and Jace hits the ult to get a stun on, but being able to block that auto to stop the passive from being procced in the stun, does let it fall out. Napeape just diving the Jace here solo, and is going to get the kill. Lin Linian 1v3 here, does flash, dodges the Braum Q, I think is going to get out. Does get the stun onto the Braum. He is actually going to die. Does not have a way to jump out. He's going to get CC'd under the tower. But the Cowboys on the other side of the map, taking a tier 2 and possibly even a tier 3 here in the top side, with Otacon just spawning. They have so much prio and so much push in the top lane that they might be able to just take Otacon uncontested here as well. Are going to move this Rift Herald for a play on the mid lane turret and might... Oh... Some iffy driving there. I think he could have got that tower crash, but they are just going to go here. Chessmaster Tim misses the Q, either hits it, going at Poppy W, making so much space. They do kill the Lee Sin. There's a TP, there's a Pantheon behind them, but the TP from Jax does stop his engage, and they're going to chase hit Jax and maybe even just look for a Otacon fight here now. With the jungler for them dead. Either lands a hook on to Semi-Famous. Linian misses the stun. IBIS TPing in front of the Pantheon, so he can't get away. Pantheon does have ult, but no flash, and is going to get stunned and killed. Now, looks like they're going to look for some pushes here in the top and mid, and then head towards this Otacon. The only Otacon I've seen so far this season of BTL is this flower and increased buff version. Actually, Cowboys might have had a game with the GA version one time so far this split, but other than that, just a lot of bloody games, so we're just going to see this one, and they're all going to stay together to farm. Actually, IBIS going to back in their face, make his AD carry and jungler farm the flowers. Now Lakey. Yes, Lakey. How do the doctors come back into this game? That's a good question, Lakey. And I would have to say, might be doomed, but I will say, if they can kill IBIS and Nate Babe and Linian and Steal Myself and either, they might have a chance. True. Chat, how are we feeling? If they get an ace, they might be able to win. They do have a huge engage onto IBIS here. IBIS by himself caught out. Is going to get killed by the Lee Sin with a shutdown. He just bought Magi's and it's gone. That's unfortunate. The curse of the book. But now, Cowboys looking to chase here. 3v4. Just get a stun. It's just... Now it's 3v4 for the other team. Just no damage on the side of the Doctors and just such big health bars on the side of the Cowboys. I take it back. I don't think the Doctors can win this game. This game might be doomed. True. Cowboys taking their second Ocean Dragon, leaving them even more sustain throughout the game, as well as a 4 Ocean Dragon into Ocean Soul means they become unkillable. I'm gonna call it. Maybe it's a little early for a call, but I'm gonna call it. It's doomed for the Doctors. Don't really see a way for them to come out here. Steal Myself does force the kick out of Chessmaster Tim. Does so much damage in just the auto Q. Chessmaster cannot be in his own jungle. But has managed to keep up farm pretty much with Nate Babe. But Nate Babe is 10 kills, is building a frozen gauntlet third item to be tankier but also damage. And like I said, you're seeing on the Cowboys, even on the AD carry, plated Steelcast, because the Doctors drafted a full AD comp, more armor. Just all Cowboys have to do is stack armor. I talked about this in draft. There's no magic damage source on the side of the Doctors. So as the game gets on and Cowboys build more and more armor, this game can be harder and harder until they get pen. And even when they have pen, they might not matter because it might be too late. Lucian opting into a Zeal item third instead of pen, still going to do 0 damage to people because of the armor. Yeah, this is a hard game, and I don't know how they come ahead of this, because yeah, uh, they needed to draft some sort of magic damage, and they didn't. For someone who's named after his character, I expected Jace Chalice to perform a little better on the Jace. Hasn't really made an impact this game. Still one item at 25 minutes. Feels kind of doomed. Jace Chalice caught out by the Poppy. Linian does get a stun on a Chessmaster Tim. We're not all going in. Just gonna slow down the prom a little bit. Pantheon ulting in, is just gonna get caught and immediately die from his ult. Oh, he escapes? Everyone's so low, no one dying quite yet. Linian taking a ton of tower shots here. No one on the Doctor is able to die quite yet. Such a huge, not necessarily victory, but they didn't end up losing things here. Oh, and that's a dead Braum. All the Cat Cowboys are able to make it out. They also have the little bit of buffed passive regen from the 2 Ocean Dragons they have. And they're going to be looking towards the Baron here now that the Braum is dead. With how that fight went, the only reason the Doctors were able to even stay in that is because they had a tower doing some sort of damage. And even then, they barely made it out with their lives. I'm still convinced this game is just lost. I don't know how they... That's a dead Jace yet again. 7 deaths for the Jace in the mid lane. IBIS going on the Lucian. Holy! That auto just finishes Lich Bane. No wonder that auto did so much damage. Able to keep the Lee Sin off the Baron. They get the Baron themselves. And folks, this game is over. I'm just going to call it. It's not technically over yet, but I'm going to call this game over. I don't know how they come out from this. No magic damage, nothing to... No leads anywhere. So... Trying to stay positive for them, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know how they come back from this game. And this might just be a look to an end here. Jax is TPing in. IBIS does get stunned, but does not have armor. Poppy does ult the 2 of them into the base. So they're going to hit this tower for free. Hitting the second tower here, and this does look like game unless they're able to get a miracle play here. Poppy gets a stun. Holy, they're all just dead. And with that, we have a convincing Game 2 victory by the side of the Cat Cowboys. Man, just, you cannot draft all AD. It's just so... I don't even know how to describe it. You need to draft... Or if you're going to draft all AD, you can't. You can't do it. And I think that's the main reason why they lost, is they had no magic damage source to pull ahead or even use in this game. Armor was so effective against them. That being said, here at the 2-0 victory mark for the Cat Cowboys, who do I think deserves MVP? Looking at both the games, I didn't really watch game 1. I came in super late, so I didn't get to see really who was it commanding a lead there. But, holy. Can't drag in Lin because that guy doesn't talk. All Nate Babe does is win MVP. I have to give it to Nate Babe, I think. Just strong enough game 1. Commanding lead himself there. And then just the absolute performance in the early game. 11-1 at the end of this game. I'm going to have to give MVP to Nate Babe in this series here. Can I drag this guy? Can I? Holy cow, I'm gonna kidnap this guy for a little bit. Yo.
What's up, Blakey?
What's up? How you feeling?
Pretty solid. That was a fun game.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. When you guys were drafting this game and you saw that they drafted 0 magic damage, what were your guys' thought process, or what were you guys thinking when that at the end of the draft there?
Oh well, I wanted to lock Malphite jungle, but IBIS said no. So
Malphite jungle, no Rammus stats either.
I'm not a Rammus player.
I see. But yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I'm playing a tank. I just get to build full armor and run over the game.
absolutely. I was at the end of the draft. I was just thinking, I was like, how? There's no way for them to scale out of this game unless they build Pen, and Lucian is not building Pen item 3 even, and he's not even going to complete that item. So it's just hard to watch this game kind of unfold with just knowing how you guys. I mean, we're winning early too, and then as you scaled more armor into the late game, it's just harder and harder for them to kill you guys.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I had IBIS just telling me dive mid,
Mm-hmm.
then Lin goes dive top, and then IBIS says dive mid again because they're just constantly 1 HP, so it's pretty free.
Yeah, absolutely. What was I didn't get to watch much of game 1. I was supposed to cast it, but I got the time zones wrong.
Ooh.
What was your guys's did game 1 kind of feel just as straightforward and easy as game 2 felt, or was that one a little more difficult? I don't know if that's the right word, but
Yeah, I mean, they didn't ban Diana or Yasuo, so we just locked the Diana Yasuo again. And,
the classic.
yeah, it's a classic. I ran it a little bit at the beginning of that game, but we came back, so.
Yeah, love to see. I think this is what your guys' 5th 2-0 week in a row.
I think it's 4.
4, okay.
Yeah.
4 2-0s in a row. Might be the only undefeated team so far.
Yeah, I think Glacial Golems lost last night, so.
Yeah, so that puts you guys definitively as, I would say, number 1 power rankings, number 1 right now in terms of just win rate. What does that give you in terms of confidence and like looking towards the second half of this split?
I'm feeling good. I feel like we were against a lot of the stronger teams in the first half of the round robin anyway.
Absolutely.
So I think that we're in a really good spot. Scrims are going well still, so yeah, we're feeling pretty good.
Love to hear it. So yeah, just with, I think the only other team you haven't played yet that was kind of in contention for first and second place was Glacial Golems, and they did lose last night. How are you guys looking ahead into playing that matchup whenever that comes around?
Well, it looked like they did have a sub bot lane last night, so I don't want to go in too cocky because they lost a game.
Sure.
They didn't have their normal roster, so
Absolutely.
Definitely still taking it seriously. Their last few weeks before that were all really strong performances, so.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Congrats on the win. Do you have any shout outs for your team, for anyone else?
Dude, I think Lin needs an MVP one of these days. He solo kills every game.
Hey, but how are we supposed to interview this guy? He doesn't talk. Do I have to pull up like do I have to pull up my Discord TTS? Holy, get him to install a TTS program. That'd be
absolutely.
Yes, get him a TTS program, IBIS, and we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Besides that, any other shout outs or?
I mean, I do it every time, but like my whole team's just playing super well. Like I said, they kind of just boss me around like, hey, low, dive mid, and I just dive mid, and it's free. And dive top, and it's free. So they all play super well.
Absolutely. With that being said, I don't have anything else for us tonight. I don't know the rest of the schedule for this week because we have our regular games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we have a ton of reschedules for the middle of this week coming the next couple days, and I don't know who's playing when, so I can't really give a shout out for the next stream, but they will be happening sparsely throughout the rest of this week, so be looking for those, and then join us Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the next official week of games after this messy Easter weekend. That being said, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Cowboys and the Doctors for a great series, and we will see you next time. Yes, live tomorrow for our LFA team. Our LFA team is playing in the semifinals tomorrow night, I believe. So, yeah. That being said, thanks for joining. Have a good night. Peace out.